everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console.
Jesus.
We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest
Ready?
video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. And remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed, especially with the new mic. Now on to the show, I'm one of your hosts. Waba plays alongside Mr. Dooley Court Lalon.
Greatest bar in Boston.
That was...
Oh, so and I do remember that. I do remember the conversation of you guys going, because I didn't think it was happening, but anytime I talk, you guys would be like, Boston accent.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The more bevies that Court had, the worse it got. It was great. I loved it.
I thought it was the more time he spent around you, he just picked it up.
I mean, it's it's osmosis, baby. You know, it just happens.
Well, I've spoken before we get to Pez. We're gonna pretty much talk about the whole time about PAX and us hanging out together. That's why I'm wearing the shirt, because we got these shirts. Waba didn't. There's a story to that, but I talked to a doctor about this once. I guess it's because the first 5 years of my life I lived in Boston, so that language is in my brain. So it eventually will always come back.
Here we go.
It's the only city, but
Like
yes,
a parasite.
Pez is here too.
Yep, Osmosis Jones, Pez.
What's up, fellas? How we doing today? What's the crack, boys?
The crack was 90 at Mr. Dooley's.
Oh my God, Mr. Dooley's. For those that don't know, Mr. Dooley's is an Irish bar in Boston, and the dads turned it up.
It's an amazing bar.
It was a great bar.
We had a friend of ours come and see us that Pez and Waba had only met through Twitter. And same here, actually. I'd never met him in person. And he came and met us there. And the best part is when I told him we were going to this bar, he's like, dude, I love that bar. So I was like, this must be a good bar.
It's great. It had two elder statesmen of the aisle playing. One was playing a guitar / banjo at times, and the other was playing a stand-up bass. Oh, man. Perfect.
Dude, our waitress, rock star.
Awesome. She came right off the boat from Ireland. I wanted her. I think I said to Waba walking back to the hotel, I wish I could pay her just to read me stories. Like, her Irish accent was so thick. Like, even when she said thanks, like, you got the tanks. And I was like, just please talk to me just so I can listen. Say three, like, just say all these crazy
things. She was saying that about us. If you remember, she was like, you guys are making my night.
Yeah.
She had a great come over to our table. She gave us a reserved table. She told us the lay of the land.
That's right.
And so we had such a fun there that I would use the word inebriated. I just ordered myself a scotch, and a friend of mine, Mr. Spokesy himself, decided that was a shot, and he hit it like it was nothing, and then turned to us and said, wow, that didn't taste good. And we're like, really?
It was a 16-year whiskey, and the waitress heard that and started laughing and asked if he was okay, because she's like, that's like 9 drinks in one. And he's like, yeah, it was very good. And she's like, that's like a $50 shot.
It was fun. It was
dude, Z is chaotic neutral. It was awesome.
I explained to the waitress that I wanted to never have that night taken away from me, and I was like, that's a great shirt. If we can get one of those shirts, those would be awesome. She turned to us and said, what size are you? Me and Pez instantly told him our size. Colin was like all over it. Waba, no thank you. Then the bill comes. Did you guys notice something? 30% of our drinks weren't on that bill.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't notice that part,
because the Lagavulin Scotch wasn't on the bill. So many.
That's really funny that she just let it slide.
We drank there from the end of the hockey game, and we didn't stop. Like, we were ordering drinks as soon as one was done. Boom, boom, boom. We kept going. Our bill was just at $200.
Yeah, we're talking we're not talking like beers. We're talking old fashions.
They were so good.
The old fashions were very good. I think Waba had Sam Seasonal. I went from a couple old fashions to Tully on the rocks.
Yeah, you were drinking on the rock.
Dude, I love Tullamore, dude. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And Colin was smashing back beers like it was nobody's bud.
Yep.
Like, just boom,
unfazed.
Boom, boom.
He's.
Yep. It was what.
He also had one of my extra, because she brought an extra for me, and I was like, I'm good, and he's like, I'll take it, and you start drinking 2 at once.
Dude, when he ran in the door, ran in the door.
He's got a presence about him.
Oh,
he was fun.
Dude. I love him.
Oh, it was a good time. We made friends with pretty much everybody in the bar, even a Rangers fan. I was talking to that guy for a bit.
I was talking to everybody.
I was like, don't be scared in here, man. Well, I am that guy when we're at the bar and I've had a couple drinks and then I keep
Pops.
going. I am friends with every single person in that bar. By the end of the night, everybody will know my name.
That's all right. It was definitely a fun time, and that's how we ended our
Yeah,
the
we
day.
also went to a
But we
Bruins
did
game
a
and
lot
saw
of other
Celine
things
Dion.
that day. Oh yeah, so before that, well, where it started was so we went to PAX East. You guys got there a little later because Cord had to fly in from Canada.
We went to PAX? I didn't even remember.
I know, right? So first thing though, we got media badges again. We've been talking about it, and I got to take part in media hour. So this is pretty cool. So basically, you just go in first, and the whole con is available to you. So if you want to get in line for something or do something first, you just do it. I spent part of that time talking to a friend of the show, Hostin from Tape to Tape. And we spent a lot of time at that booth because that game slaps.
Okay, now that you're just talking about our boy there, I feel so bad because he was supposed to come to the bar with us,
I
and that's my fault.
know.
So what happened was
We'll get him next time.
my phone goes on, doesn't get notifications after 9. So I don't I
Do
have it
not
on
disturb.
yeah.
I feel that.
So I wasn't getting his text.
Next time.
Class.
I feel terrible.
That's all right. He only
He's
just
an
came this whole way.
He is an amazing person.
He's fun.
He would have added to the funness for sure.
Oh my gosh.
He wouldn't have
been
awesome. My man may not have made it to his booth on Friday.
That's pretty much what I said to him. I was like, if you actually came there with us, it would have been a disaster.
Dude, that would have been so but he was meeting him in person was great. I gave him a Providence Bruins hat as a warm welcome because he needed some gear.
What else happened? We played a video game with him, didn't we?
We did.
It was me and Hostin versus you two. What happened?
Nothing.
If I may set the table, as it were.
No, don't tell them what I did.
Wabbo's running his big mouth. Right, sat down 1v1 with Hostin. You'll be able to see the game edited on Three Dads on a Console on our YouTube channel. Running his mouth, got waxed. We're talking Bruins in a Game 7 wax from Hostin. Then we did Team USA versus Team Canada. Your boys, Wabba plays an old Pezzy boy, could not hold it down. Wabba's defense, Swiss cheese. If it was a dairy product, Swiss cheese, holes everywhere. We ended up getting squashed,
and I was scoring.
Court was turning it on, man. That puck hit the ice in both of them. The Canadian spidey sense went off, and it was game over.
These are facts.
It was game over.
I mean, he also I think he rigged it because he's got like the dev tools, so that's how to be it.
Yeah, he brought his own controller for you, Baba. He brought his own controller specifically to play you one-on-one.
I used generic. He gave me like the GameStop controller, the Player 2 controller,
the little brother Mad Catz controller.
Yeah,
that's what you have.
I didn't even think it was plugged in. So like, if I knew, I would have brought my own hardware. I did know, but
are you blaming your lack of skill on a controller?
100%. I'm taking the Mighty Ducks approach of act indignant.
Yep. Take the fall.
We play tape to tape, and I will say this: I truly love that game.
It's great.
That game's very good.
Been barking up this tree for a couple of years now. It's so good.
So what I loved about it, so they were there with Null Publishing, and they are like the marquee title of that booth. There are a few other ones. We got to play Athena Crisis, which is like Advanced War. It's built in Java. You can play it anywhere, like cross save to like your phone or something. It's really
I
cool.
did not get to play it. It's not a Wii. It's not a Wii. It's just Peasant Waba. I was just talking to Sean the whole time.
That's not a U game. But we did get some cool pins that we're going to be giving away with Tape to Tape. But they had a huge TV with a couch on it facing like the aisle. So everybody who walked by, everyone was like, oh, the amount of people who I heard say, oh, I know this game, or oh man, this game looks fun. And it wasn't just like hockey, it was like, younger audience too. It's a game that everybody can pick up. And it was so cool to see like a game that like, we love and care about, and a community that we love just succeeds so well. Like that was one of the highlights, I think, of a lot of people's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very good. I will say this. My highlight, we'll talk about our games of the show. My highlight was a game I can't talk about until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Just because how cool it was to go play that. But Tape to Tape was going to be my game of the show until my game of the show came out of nowhere and punched me in the face.
Also,
with lasers.
Pew pew. What I thought was cool too. So they added a new team for PAX, or like it's not even like out. It was a soccer team.
Yep.
Where if the players got hit,
we didn't even play with them.
Nope.
I know, right? We were just excited to like. Well, we wanted to do battle, but they would like do like the way he described it was a Peter Griffin like holding his knee, and there was also a wall of players in front of the goalie like for penalty kick, and then he also had a PAX East rink.
Yeah, rink.
And
PAX East rink.
For day 2, he made versions of
the Bruins,
the fake Habs and the fake Bruins. And you had Rat Marchand who had the ability to fart, and that was his thing. And like people loved it.
He didn't tell me that. He didn't even tell me that.
Yep, Rat Marchand had the fart ability. It was crazy.
Everybody else was normal name, but Rat Marchand, and everyone was like, "Boo!" It was really funny. What else? I got to play Pokemon again. I lost again. Got in during media hour, which is cool. Got this little sushi boy pin.
Pez, if he says one more time that he got in during media hour,
it was amazing.
If I could, if Reed Pop is listening and they're not, give us media hour every day.
2 days. Yeah, that I agree.
Because not everyone has the luxury of being there on Thursday, like we did. And thankfully Waba was able to get in early, but we were as Court went off to do something on Friday for Console Creatures. Shout out Console Creatures. Waba and I were talking. Waba and I
was grinding it.
He was grinding. Oof. Poor guy. Waba and I were talking to a streaming couple who were like, yeah, there's no media day on Friday, and it was just it's kind of frustrating because like I would have liked, because it's very hard to hit every booth on like Thursday. So for those, we go Thursday, Friday. Thursday's the work day. Friday's more of an exhibition day. People come in from out of town. You're able to do some of the booths that like you weren't able to do, or you want to like stand in line in. He's coming out of the booth. Waba Plays gets to stand at Dunkin' Donuts for
dude, I got the hat.
An hour and a half.
Thanks
the bucket hat.
Friend. I got a bucket hat.
Bucket hat. So yeah, it's just wow.
Oh my god.
Pit Vipers.
Really did get in line. How many times did you get in line?
I got in line twice, but the first time I took these and my hat because I said it was for my kid, which they are. And the second time I got the purse bag thing my daughter uses as a purse. And we collected.
It's called a fanny pack.
I got given so many gifties. I think I made money this trip.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everybody, I love Waba, but he is looking for an angle on everything. And
my man always has game.
He's looking to not spend money as much as humanly possible. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go buy lunch. He's like, I have a power bar. If he asked me one more time that he had a power bar, I was gonna take it and throw it away.
I wanted to give you fuel
just in front of him. Just toss it in front of him.
It's fuel, dude. I mean,
gotta fuel the machine.
I just had a boneless chicken breast sandwich. It was fantastic.
I had pure fuel energy. I had some what is it called? Cred? No, not cred.
No,
you have no cred.
Thank you, Pez.
You're welcome. It was there. Another game that we played that I initially wasn't on my radar, but I actually super enjoyed, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So let's talk about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So it was the last booth that we had a scheduled interview with. So as we go in, we go early. One of our there was a game that didn't show up. I forget who it is, but there's a game. Oh, Foot Gun. The folks from Foot Gun didn't show up. Rugrats didn't show up in the morning. So Foot Gun didn't show up, and then so we went over to Killer Clowns early, and we were like, hey, we're here early. We're three dads on a console, gave her our thing. She loved us. She was super nice. And she was like, hey, do you guys want to meet Edward Chiodo? And immediately I was like, absolutely. I don't even know if these two knew who the guy was.
Hold on. I still don't.
He is one of the three brothers that created Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
The other brothers were there the next day too.
He created that. He created Critters, the 80s movie Critters. and a couple other like 80s movies. So I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's go interview him. I believe Waba got it on his phone, because I saw you slyly pull that bad boy out, but I don't think the audio is any good.
No,
it's because Waba doesn't have an Apple.
Well,
he has an Android.
No, I do have Apple.
No, it's because phone mics are terrible. That's why we don't use them. But we got to talk to him for probably 15 minutes, just about like the process of like how they came up with Killer Clowns, the movie back in 88, 89. Seeing that come to life in a video game, 30 years later or whatever, and just how hands-on or hands-off they were with the IP, what they had IllFonic. For those that don't know, IllFonic has made Ghostbusters, Spirits Unleashed. They made the Predator Hunting Grounds, I think it's called, which wasn't that great. And Friday the 13th, which I think is phenomenal at the time. So they have made their like passion is these like PvP games in like an 80s
Their passion
IP.
is the 80s. Yeah, I was gonna say 80s IP.
It's like it's PvP games in an 80s IP. So we got hands-on with the game. I believe all three of us were human. It is a 3 clown versus 7 human game, and your goal is to escape the island or whatever your map is. The way you do that is, you run around and you try and find the boat, and to power the boat, you need the key and the gas can, or you find like a hat, like a door or a bunker, and you need gas can and a key card, or there's like all these objectives that you don't really know about until you find a compass or you talk to your team, and you have to find it all scattered across the map. While that's going on, you have the 3 killer clowns. I don't know their names outside of like Tiny and
I think Shorty's one of them. I keep calling him Tiny.
You got these guys. Largo. You got these guys hunting you down. They can't be killed, but they can be taken out.
And they're only gone for a minute.
And much like Dead by Daylight, if you get caught by one of the clowns, you get like wrapped in. You get wrapped in like a cotton candy pod, and you get hung up. And you can get revived. You can get taken off the hooks. But it was, we played for like 20 minutes. The match was like 20, 25 minutes. We played against a group of people, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was way better than it blew my expectations away. I thought it was way better than when I first stepped into it. And the sound design was exceptional.
Sound design was so good. The squeaky feet drove me
insane. Core had talked about it multiple times on his various shows and stuff, that like you can hear the clown's feet squeaking from far away, and it's soft and it's a little quiet, and then as it gets closer, like it gets louder and louder. And Court tried to play hero ball and save Waba, and it did not work out for him.
It was the worst thing I ever did. I don't know why I decided that Waba was the thing I needed to save. And I see Pez like laughing as he runs across the screen, knowing that I'm going to die now. And I had no bullets left.
Took off.
It was so dumb of me. I should not have saved Waba.
I think you made the right call.
I don't think I did.
And sorry, Waba, one thing, what I like when you're dead is you're still involved.
Yes.
So for someone that has played like Ghostbusters or Friday the 13th, when you're dead, like that's it, it's over. Yep. But in this game there are mini games, but also you can get cards that you can give out to your alive companions. So like it might have been Court who was like feeding me cards of baseballs or bats as you play these mini games.
Whoever you're watching. So what you have to do is whoever you're watching. So when you were still alive, because I died first, I watched you, and then as soon as I would get something, I was giving you all my stuff.
Yeah. So next thing you know, I get these baseballs in my hand, and the baseballs are cool. You can use them as a baseball to throw at a clown, or you can throw it as a distraction. So
but we found out later it should have been used as a distraction.
I know. I was hucking them. I was hucking them at clowns and missing every time. Sign me for the Red Sox under 77.5 wins. I truly like that game. I came away with like, okay, this is a game that my friends and I are gonna play the daylights out of.
Same.
Waba,
I love the promotion for it. So I played on PC, which I'm more of a console person. Fair. But I'm really excited to try it. I liked talking to Kiddo brother we got to talk to, because one of the, we said like, what's different from making a film compared to a game? And one of his answers was, In a film, it's all fixed like angles, so you're building like more or less like a hallway where the action's going to take place. But he's like, now you have to kind of build it out and imagine, and now you have like more ability to build it out how you would want it because you have a limited budget in a movie, so you have to do it on the parts that matter. But here now you have it's all rendering, so you can kind of explore what those scenarios would look like. And I thought that was like really interesting because he's right, like that movie's practical, more or less practical effects. It's what was it, like $3 million budget, and it's just being creative. And it's goofy horror. I mean, I saw it as an adult, so it didn't have the same impact on me, but it's a fun movie.
You're
and
an
now
adult.
they've kind of taken a little bit. Now they've taken that vibe and brought it to a game, and I think they did like a really good job of like keeping that same like tone. And it was a fun experience. And what another cool experience at that booth was not just being able to play the game, talk to one of the people who created that world, but we got to talk to two people on the Aphonic staff, and that was a really neat experience where we go play the demo, then we go to the back of the booth, and there's like a separate sitting room, and
Every time he says booth,
we
I
got to do
just
that.
can't. The
I know.
booth.
Woo! And that to me was a cool experience in and of itself. And we have that recorded, which we're gonna share. But it was that was a lot of fun to kind of talk about it. Be able to ask like very candid questions about the game and get whatever answers we could. But there's some things they don't want to talk about yet. But if you've played some of their other games, it seems like it follows that vein, and it's I don't know, it's exciting. I'm excited for this game, and I think the marketing team's done a really good job too.
Yeah, and shout out to Court because he mentioned the sound design, and it's probably like 3:34 now, and they said you are the first guys to mention sound design, like to us at all. So thank you for doing that.
Well, it was the one thing that stood out to me because I was just like listening. I'm just like, oh man, because I was trying to hide in a garbage bin, and I'm just like, these damn clown shoes, man, they're freaking me out. Like I personally, as a kid, was scared of that movie. So to play that, I'll say this: I had zero expectations for that game. It wasn't on my radar. I was like, fine. At least they're saying yes and they're letting us interview them.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be an amazing experience, a fun game to play. I was like, I walked away going, I want to play this game. Heck, everything I kept playing was on PC, and I don't like PC, and I liked all these games.
PC
sucks.
True. I won't go.
Also, that booth was running hot. That RAM was moving.
Oh man, that was a hot booth. Hot booth.
That one.
I hope it's not that hot in May next year.
It's gonna be May. But that was a fun experience. So we did tape to tape. We went to Killer Clowns, and then one of Pez and my favorite developers, we went to Toge.
Yep,
Pez.
I stayed at tape to tape the whole time.
Yeah, these they don't make court games, but the first thing we do, of course, hit up the merch.
The merch
Pez.
booth.
Oh yeah, they've run out of merch, by the way, like halfway through Friday.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, so we had an appointment at 12 at noontime. No, 1:30. So for those that don't know, Togi makes Space for the Unbound, which was Waba's game of the year last year. Go check out his review.
Got a little pin.
He talked a lot about it. They made Coffee Talk, which I've talked about multiple times, both 1 and 2. Coffee Talk, great games. Get you a bottle of water. Two absolute great games. So initially, our thought process was we were going to go and talk to them about maybe about a Space for the Unbound, maybe about Coffee Talk. I don't know. We did Coffee Talk last year, so just see what's next for them. And then all of a sudden, the seas parted way, and Waba Plays gets to sit down one-on-one with the creator of A Space for the Unbound and interview him one-on-one. Waba, talk about it.
So that was a really cool experience for me because, well, first, like he helped us with the booth, like the merch. His name's Eka. And then we turn around and he's like, oh yeah, like I'm co-founder of MojiCan, who made Space for the Unbound. And we're like, oh, like long time no see. We just, so, and he just brings out a chair, turns my seat around. He's like, we're doing an interview. And we're gonna
after you like gave him his flowers and he didn't realize who he was.
No.
All we did was give him US bills for
cold
some of his
hard
merch.
Cash.
Even better.
I love these. Which is I'm glad we did that first, so we knew I actually liked the game. So Space Spinning Bound, again, I'm not going to talk more about it because you guys know I love it, but it was really cool to ask questions about a game that I love from somebody who's very intimately involved in that, being able to ask about some of the themes. And it's a game, again, that very much resonated with me at a point in time, especially, and on a personal level. And to hear like some of the reasons they made the game and some of like the drives that they had, which was kind of it. Basically, the things I felt were the things that he said. It was like really weird. Like it's like I got it. I don't get games. You guys know that. Like I'm very
You
like
don't get a lot.
I'm very face value. Like I don't play a lot of like the story games I like. I'm very particular with. And the fact that he's like, well, we wanted to do this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, well, I felt this, that, and the other thing. Like that's why I understood your vision. It was kind of really cool and validating. I've never really had that experience. One, because again, I very particular with my story games, and two, I've never had the opportunity to interview somebody who has made a game like that I love. So again, I know I'm being like super big, but it's a very interesting experience. And again, we've talked about it a lot. I know we talked about like media badge and stuff like that. Like it's more so because I'm very much appreciative that like we've had this experience. It's very wild to me, and being able to sit down with somebody who had a big hand in leading the team that did this. It was very cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that interview comes out. I'm excited for all of you to hear it, and it was just a really really great experience. And I made sure to tell him, I'm like, this game was my 2023 game of the year. I'm like, that's the best game I played hands down, and I played a lot of good titles, and they're the best, and they were there, and I got to do that, and it was nice that we had that opportunity instead of maybe playing some demos of games we already wanted. They gave us a chance to use that time for what we wanted to, and I think that's also very cool. They're very flexible, because we didn't really know what we were going to get into. Do we want to play a demo that we've already played? Well, or a game that we own? No, we want to talk to you folks about what's next. And there's another game that he alluded to out of a game jam. It's called Test Test Test. It's free, and that's kind of a something it's basically something they're cooking. Like there's going to be more of a game that goes along with that, but it's something cool that you can try.
Cooking.
They're cooking.
Cool.
So yeah.
I got to try out a game. I got to see a game and play a game. I got to play two games. One I can't talk about, but I got to see a preview event for Dune Awakening, which I got to go see. It's an MMO. It's going to be on PC, another PC game. It wasn't fully finished. So I will say this. There were some shader issues and so on and so forth, but they explained that right before when we started seeing it. They explained, hey, like this is not the final version. You could tell in some scenes, some of the cutscenes, you're like, wow. But at the same time, it was Unreal Engine 5. And when they had the character walk in and start out the game, and if you've seen Dune the movie, the character walks in, puts the hand in the book, and you have the little thing beside your neck. It's totally like the movie, and you have to make decisions. And right after that, they go into the character creator screen. It's like almost like a seamless transition. And the character creator screen is hugely in depth. For me, couldn't care less, but I guess for MMOs, people care. But I'm always default character. I just don't care.
Yep.
They take you right into the game itself. You're walking through the open world. The graphics looked unbelievable. Now, they take more of what is from inside the book, so it's not as much desert. Like there is desert, but there is, rocks and plant life and so on and so forth. It's an MMO with crafting, survival. Pez, honestly, this game is so far up your alley, it's not even funny.
Love it.
There is combat, it's PvP, and base building, but you cannot raid or attack other people's bases. So your base is your home. That's the only place that you cannot be touched. The worms are in the game. There are big worms and small worms. If you're on the sand, you'll have a noise meter that could be shown. So you can tell where the sandworms are. If a sandworm eats you, you lose everything. If you die in the open world, you can go back and get your stuff. But if it's from the sandworm, it's over. Anything that's on your body, it's gone forever. But as long as you can put it in, gone forever. As long as you put it back, or if you go back to your base that you built, you could do it. Now, for building bases, you need spice for coins to pay for things. You can actually build your whole base and then one by one actually pay for the thing. So it'll show where it's going to be, and then you can just go up. So you could already design your base, and then you know what your goal is, how to build it.
Oh, that's
You
cool.
also, friends of yours can come over and help you build the base and spend money. You have to build vehicles. all that kind of stuff, your spice runner, all that you need to build, and it costs you money to do it. So it's a lot of resource farming and water. Water is so essential. It's nobody's business. So what you need to do is you actually have to stay out of the sun and hide in the shade until you get the water suit. So
Mhm.
you have to make sure that because you can get heat stroke and you could die. The only way to revive yourself is water. The only way to revive your friends is water. You can get water from plants. You can get water from people's blood.
That's
How?
wild.
Yes. What do you mean how? Our blood has water, but it's going to not give you as much water. Or you can get a machine that you can craft to build it to use the blood. There's a ton of co-op in the game. There's a lot to this game. Also, there's no ballistic weapons. It's only spring and gas weapons. But there are weapons. There is combat. There is these cool little traversal things that you can get. It's almost like bounces you. That's like a slingshot type thing.
Mhm.
Uh, it's very cool. I was actually in shock. There's no release date, but you can actually go on duneawakening.com and there's a beta to sign up for. And it's only on PC as of right now. Game looked
Cool.
very cool. Then I went over to go check out Dustborn. I had a terrible experience at that booth. I went for my appointment. They said, give me a minute. They made me wait another half an hour. They never came back. They forgot about me. Then they came back and said, yeah, can you come back? And so I never went to go see it. That is made by, geez, I can't even think right now. So I'll have to Google it so we can move
It's a
on.
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dreams. Yes. Game looked great. Never got to try it. They kept giving me the runaround. They wanted me to do this interview first, and I was like, "Well, I can't. I don't have time because the way I was booked, I had to go check out another game." I'm like, "I just want to play the game." And they're like, "No problem," and then just never let me play the game. And I wasn't the only one. There was like a lineup of people from media who had appointments. And in all fairness, is because their booth became very popular. But I also think it was popular because they were giving out a stuffy. So everybody played
That'll
the
do
game.
it.
Yeah. But the good news is, from there, I went and checked out a game called Heading Out, which I truly loved. So it is also only on PC. It comes out May 7th. It's inspired like by Death Proof, and I would say like Sin City for the graphics. So it's in black and white with like splashes of color. Like you'll see this red glow in the sky. You'll see yellow cars and so on and so forth, but you're just a car. So at the very beginning of the game, it asks you a couple questions. You can answer them or don't answer them, but those questions that you answer will tailor the way your run goes.
I like that.
So it's a roguelite. So you have a run that makes it of 4 parts. You finish each run in like 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours. You can 6 to 8 hours, sorry. You can finish them pretty rather quickly. Each run will be different. They have 300 different variations of conversations that can go on. The radio guy that's talking is the conversations. As you press the gas pedal, it's in a comic frame. So everything is done like a comic book. The game looks amazing. The handling was great in the car. The story is about a guy who's going across the United States because in Canada's at civil war. So there's a lot of political ideology in the game. There's a lot of race. I don't know, man. It was very good. There's a lot of pieces when you're on the map and you're not driving the car and you watch your little cursor go across the map. The cops can chase you on there, so you have to press off the gas pedal, let the cops go by, even though you can't see it. Your cursor will go blank. The cops can go by, and then you keep going. And there's all these different points and events that you had to go do. Very interested in this game that comes out on Steam on May 7th. I know I'm going to be getting a copy of this game, so I will review it and do it. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It
That
was
game sounds
very well
dope.
done. It was just different than anything I've played. And then we stumbled upon Freedom Games,
Mm,
and we found
mm.
what I would say I safely say my game of the show, G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. That thing is amazing. It is like Double Dragon Ninja Turtles in G.I. Joe video game. Interesting enough, Pez, how they'd only let us play as Scarlet or Duke. If you go online and watch the trailer, Roadblock's in there, Shipwreck's in there, a whole bunch of different characters. So it's a 4-player co-op, beat 'em up G.I. Joe game from Freedom Games, and it looks amazing.
Played
And
amazing
it's
too.
and it's coming to console.
Played very, very well. Again, played like a 1980s, 1990s beat 'em up game. You'd find it Fun Spot or Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, and you'd pump
Mhm.
quarters into. And it was a lot of fun, and it had a lot of Again, it had that 80s nostalgia. It had some of the mechanics you'd find in like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World beat 'em up that came out like 10 years ago or so. It was a lot of fun. I jumped in, maybe played the first level 10 15 minutes maybe, and had a blast. And I think it would be a great co-op game.
And I will say this about Repop doing the show. I know some people were saying there was a lot of empty spaces compared to where it was, because there was Nintendo was there, Pokemon was there. Certain people weren't there that are usually there. I still thought they did a phenomenal job putting on this show.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
everything was very well mapped out. I didn't feel claustrophobic at any time. Everything was readily available, even for the people that I heard didn't have media passes. It didn't really take them a long time to get in.
No, and I think it's important to know that the tabletop area seemed to be larger than it has in years past, which I
But
like.
It was packed. It was packed.
I like that, and I think this is something that I'll do next year is, when it's time to take a break and sit down for a minute, peruse the tabletop area and maybe rent a board game and just like take it a little slow. That was something that we did a little bit with, what was that game called, Waba? Corkinole, which was a blast. So on Friday, Court was like book solid with console creature stuff to do on Friday. So Waba and I, my brother, and a bunch of streamers from one from New York, one from Texas, one from Connecticut. They all came to PAX as well. So we were all kind of hanging out, and we went and played Corkinole, and it was a good time. For those that don't know, it's like shuffleboard, hockey, cornhole. And we played for maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Sitting back there, again, these games are free. So you just pop a squat and start playing. And it was a good time. PAX has changed from a purely like video game thing to just a game convention. And that's what I like about it. They have board game tournaments. Last year, they had great autographs. This year, their autographs kind of stunk.
Yeah, not for me.
Don't know if I would stand in line to get a streamer's autograph. But that's
I wanted to get a Pro DZ's last year. Is Pro ZD? I've watched he's a YouTuber forever, but his line was capped last year.
If it's not,
it depends on who.
Can we get the completionist to sign his charity donations? Got him. What is happening to your internet right now, man? Jeez.
Seriously.
So choppy. But yeah, I love going to PAX every year. I mean, it's virtually in my backyard. I'm like, an hour and a half away from Boston. So I had a great time. And then after we went to the Bruins game, the three of us, unfortunately the Bruins choked it away, but we still had a good time. And then we went to the Irish bar and then did it all again on Friday. So yeah. I had a great weekend. Unfortunately, Court had to drive had to be the passenger in my driving scenario. The rage that came out.
It is cold out.
Rage that came out.
It is cold out, and he's driving with the windows down.
It's true. I love.
The man is a psycho.
I am. I like to be cold, so I had the window cracked, and Court's like, "Why does your heat not work?" He's like, "Oh, you have the window down. Put the window up." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, man." And then like he turned away, and I cracked it again.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to Boston, nerd.
Can we talk about real quick the Dunkin' Donuts booth? So For those that don't know, we know that your boy loves Dunkin' Donuts. Ching-a-ling-ling. They had a booth at PAX this year, which didn't sell coffee, which I was kind of upset about, but they had a game. It was a big video board, and single or pair would throw dodgeballs at the video board and get as many points as possible. So we got there. The thing you want to do at PAX is pick the one thing you want to do and go get in line right when it opens. So Waba said, I want to go to the Dunks booth. And I said, all right, let's go. We go to the Dunkin' Donuts booth, meet my buddy Roma there. While we're standing in line, they're walking around giving out $5 gift cards. $5 gift cards.
Over and over and over. They're like, sorry it's taking so long to fix. And they just stuff in our pockets.
So all of a sudden the thing dies. Right? And the guys are coming around. Seems like every 15 minutes. $5 gift cards every 15 minutes. Like just doing this, making the round. So Waba and I get in there, come in third place, 140 points. Smash It later got taken off the leaderboard because people were, you know, the West Coasters came in and just started heaving. Got a little bit of swag, and then you could just walk in front of the booth and get more $5 gift cards. You didn't even have to be in line. I left with $40 in gift cards, and that's after I gave my brother $10. After I met with him, I gave him $10 in Dunkin' gift cards because he was like, "Give me one. I'm going to get a coffee on the ride home." And I was like, "Here you go, man." And then I just kept feasting on
like
poor
half the
Dunkin'
time it didn't even
Donuts.
want. Even if you didn't want it, they would like grab, you know, just shove it in your face. It's awesome.
To the point where Wab and I, leaving at like 10 of 6 when the floor closed, tried to get more, and the guy ran out. Right when he turned to us, he was like, "Oh, I got no more." And I was like,
"That's okay though. We did our part."
Dude, you guys sound like you had so much more fun than I did.
Yeah, we had a blast.
We also went to the Pokemon booth.
Yeah, the cards. Thank you, Paz.
Yeah, no problem.
That was a lot of. So if you did, you could make a chalk Pokemon.
Nintendo booth, which is different than the Pokemon booth, because the Pokemon booth is the Pokemon card game. So you learn how to play the card game, and then you get a pack of cards for playing that. Waba 0-2. He's on his reverse Undertaker WrestleMania streak.
I played with Ride or Die, and he destroyed me. So we actually have footage he's gonna send me. I'm gonna make sure that we edit it so it looks like I won.
And then Nintendo is like the only big of the big like 3. They're the only ones that show up. This year the booth was lame. It was it was lame in terms of the games. It was all Pokemon games that are already out. Scarlet Violet, Arceus. They had a huge chalkboard where you could draw your own Pokemon. I made a very bad looking Ghastly because I'm not artistic and I don't know Pokemon very well.
What's a Ghastly? Is it a fart?
No, kind of.
It's like a little. It's kind of like a little like gas ball.
It's a fart Pokemon.
It's ethereal. Much. I made shocked Pikachu. Like the meme, like he was like.
And then
they gave me cards.
What I did like, we got some cards.
I talk about cards right now. Isn't that a hard subject right now?
Yeah, I gave Court my cards to give to his daughter.
Okay, I'm not. Do you want to know what my daughter said? Thank you so much. She got all excited about it. She opens the pack. She goes, "Oh, they're just commons."
Sorry, I ruined her day.
Let's go, true collector.
And then they did have some pretty dope. They had an Eevee and a Pikachu in some great suit. Like those suits were immaculate.
Dude, I don't want to talk about it. I am literally doing a preview event, and I get a text from Pez of him standing. He's like, "Dude, we're so close to Eevee. Come down here." And then next thing you notice, I see a picture of Pez standing beside Eevee.
Do one of these.
It was supposed to be Pikachu. It was supposed to be Pikachu, and then it switched to Eevee. So I actually went back later with What That Meowth Do, another streamer, and we got pictures of Pikachu.
And
yeah, we got hats. Thanks.
Oh yeah, shout out to XP Up Apparel. We all got new hats. We appreciate you thinking of us.
It was great.
I love it. Got a green hat that goes with my my theme.
One of the things I like about PAX is just trying out the random co-op games. My brother and I have gone for like the past 5 years, so we just will walk into random booths and be like, "Hey, what do you got for co-op games?" We played one game. I wouldn't
call this random. Pez played this one game forever.
Mage Quit.
Oh
dude,
my!
Mage Quit was awesome. Mage Quit is a 10-person 7-round mage battle royale.
Waba was very good at that game.
He was good until the end when your boy came in and smoked everybody. Period. So what happens is 7 people start out, and 10 people start out, and then each round you basically have to draft an ability, and there's an ability pool. So let's say there's 3 fire and 3 water and 3 rock, and there's 10 people. So when those 3 fire are out, that's it. It's out. You have to move on to the next one. And
so it's almost like a rogue light, but not.
Kind of. What I did like about it was the way you select your powers or spells or whatever is the worst person starts first, and it works in a fantasy draft snake-like order. And it's all based on kills. So you could be the last one, but if you didn't kill anyone, it doesn't matter. You're at the bottom. So you need to be aggressive, but we played 10 people deep. I think we had 5 of our people playing. It was really fun. It was surprisingly fun. I thought it was going to be kind of stupid, and I really enjoyed it.
and it's cross-play, cross-platform. I think they said.
Yeah, cross-play,
That seems like
yeah,
that would be a 2 crew
cross-platform,
game.
console, and Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam.
What did we play on? Was that technically a Switch because of the controllers?
I think it was a PC, and they just had like, little like Mad Catz controllers.
I literally have no idea what I played on.
Yeah,
It had to be a PC. Everything there was PC.
Yeah,
but I will say this: the one thing I did love about it is it let indie developers shine. Because like, so many games I walked away, I was like, dude, that game was good.
Yeah.
And there were games,
and I heard they used to always have like 2K there and everybody like that, and like they are going to move it so they can, because GDC was on, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't show up. But it was good.
There were a lot of indie games that we didn't even try out. Like there was that Corgi Cozy Lane game.
We're gonna be reaching out to them. I got their info. That game looks awesome. It's gonna be great for kids. So we also tried to find games that the little ones are gonna enjoy too.
We were supposed to sit down with Rugrats, talk about their game, but they didn't show up on Thursday.
We have the info. We'll be covering that too.
We got the demo, so we'll be covering that. But PAX is just a good time, and I always leave PAX. Last year and this year, like last year, Waba and I were very like guerrilla marketing on the ground. Like some guy would just be standing there like, hey, you got 10 minutes to talk to us? Stick a mic in his face. This one felt definitely more professional on our end because, they afforded us time to sit down and then get the mic set up and then quick tests and get the camera angles right. So I always leave like, yeah, this is what I actually really like to do is the day of working and then the day of playing. And then by Saturday, it's like, I'm ready to go home. Went and saw Ghostbusters with my daughter and my wife, and then just like still get a weekend. I love PAX. It's so much fun. And I was worried for a while that PAX wouldn't come back during COVID, but it seems to, it was busier this year than it was last year. If you want to go and you can take the time off, go on Thursday. Thursday is always a definitely much slower day than Friday.
I will say this: I'm going to show up the day before next year. I'm going to get there on the Wednesday. Get really pissed on the Wednesday night.
Yep.
Get up when I get up. Get my Dunkin'. And go on the Thursday for media hour hungover, and then deal with whatever Waba set us up for Thursday. And then Thursday night, get wicked pissed all over again. And then Friday, I'm not going to have any appointments, and then maybe a couple on Saturday, or go home on Saturday.
Yeah, smart. That was fun. It took a lot of the pressure off too, since we get to schedule appointments with people, the games we're looking forward to. It takes the pressure off of, oh man, we have to wait in line. So you just be here at this time. And we were able to show up early, and they were very accommodating too. If we showed up early and there was nobody there, great, perfect. And then it took the pressure off, so then we could do whatever we wanted. Like I was able to sit in lines for pictures with Pokemon. Like I don't know, it was cool. Go over and play Corkinole for however long. And it was more also too like when I went by myself because I was a lonely boy. It was basically like go to panels, go to games, like try to do as much as I could. Now it's more of a social event. Surprisingly, I have friends.
It is. Dude,
he was. Every time I saw Waba by himself, he had people talking to him because people actually cared.
I was walking around. I'm like, this is so weird. I know people. Like I got to see Kyle. I got to see Steve. I got to say hi. I'm like, I actually know people who go to this. I saw him. Some other folks that we know but they were like working, so I didn't want to say hi. Shadowhawks, or like, he was setting up a camera. I didn't want to bug him. Like people we've had on this show, just walking around, and it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Court, what are you looking at?
Discord is like turning into like there's bots, like people trying to be friends with you on it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're good.
Gotcha.
Are they selling you crypto?
No.
Buy it.
Hey, you a streamer? Sure. We have this graphics package you can buy. The worst. Truly the worst.
Cowards.
Yeah, it was a great. Do you guys want a quick and dirty on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire with no spoilers?
Yup.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going on Sunday, I think.
Okay. Daughter and I went and saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. In the beginning, it leans heavily on nostalgia, not so much like Afterlife when you're like, oh my god, Egon Spengler, blah blah blah. It's like they are showing you clips of the movies. They're like, hey, the Ghostbusters are back. The cereal commercial from the 80s, like it is like nostalgia drip in the beginning. The B plot's kind of dumb. I was like, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? It was super tense, and like they had these really super tense and did a good job making it like feel scary, but still being family friendly enough. Overall, I would say it's fine. It's a good movie. It's fine. It's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's the best Ghostbusters movie out there. I would compare it to Ghostbusters 2 of the like original. Like you have the original, that's great. You have Afterlife, that's great. Frozen Empire is like Ghostbusters 2. It's more Ghostbusters. It's fine. It's, you know, some people will love it, some people will hate it. I was like, yeah, I don't hate that I bought tickets for this. It was good.
Got a cool popcorn bucket too.
And I got the trap popcorn bucket, which is down in my living room because or my kitchen. Sorry,
you didn't get two of them, eh?
No,
Ooh.
I said, can I get two? He goes, limit one. I was like, come on, man. What are you doing to me? I was like, I gotta send it to my friend in Canada.
Counting on you, Wabba. I'm counting. I'm
For
counting
what?
on you.
Wait, where do you get it?
But if it's limit one,
AMC.
couldn't you get in line and then send Little Pez in the other line and she gets one?
She was like attached. She wasn't going anywhere. So
damn it.
I'm sure we'll go see it again. What is Canada giving out up there? Anything?
A Slimer bucket.
Gotcha. So
Oh,
these are selling for $80.
We have trap. We have trap. We have trap popcorn buckets, and we have the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like drink cups.
Guys, how much did those cost? How much did those cost you? How much you pay for that?
$20.
I know what I'm. Okay.
Okay, so you're getting me one at least?
I'm hitting up every AMC I can in the area. I'm gonna churn out these bad boys.
Boom.
He really will.
I know he will.
I'm gonna bring a bunch of costumes in the car. So I'll go in, I'll get one, then I'll come back with
players.
Mustache.
Go out there and go get your free Mookie bets.
Hello.
It's me. I'll give it to this. People are complaining right now about the show not having programs, but the fact that they're giving away free cards every week.
The game launched a week ago. Tell them to chill.
Yeah, like seriously.
I almost played today, but I forgot to download it. I have it now.
This guy, the state of him, his whole stream is like putting the Bay back in baseball. Log in, it's download menu sim. Menu sim, my guy, just sitting there watching a download bar, and he's like, "Well, I guess we'll play NHL."
I got 2 raids in this.
You know what? I'm gonna give NHL my last 8 minutes of this show.
Uh-oh.
They waited to the launch of MLB The Show without telling anybody. One of the things maybe EA could start doing is a roadmap. Like, tell us what's about to happen. I know it sounds scary, but MLB The Show does a phenomenal job of telling us. Like, we know tomorrow the Easter egg hunt starts. People are still complaining. They're like, there is no program. And I'm like, they literally just told you a program starts tomorrow. Like, they're literally just told you a program starts tomorrow, but people just don't get it because their brains hurt. So I'm so confused. One, they need to do collections in NHL so that you don't lose cards. Everybody that's gone over, I even saw Sleeve playing MLB The Show, and he's doing videos about it. And he goes, I can't believe how great this is that I'm not losing the cards when I give them in. Because people like that. Because they want to build like their dynasty teams. Like, I'm a Boston Bruins fan, so I'd want to build like an all Boston Bruins team. I don't have to trade in those cards to get other cards. If you put them into collections so you can't sell them, that's fine. But NHL decided to the very last minute to start giving good content with like the weekly things that they're doing of like these cards you can easily get. They needed to do that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But they decided when no one's playing the game thinking that's going to bring players back. That's not how it works. Because unfortunately, MLB The Show has too many mechanics for Diamond Dynasty that are just better. So the card collecting aspect is fantastic. The gameplay this year, what they've done is all the moments are all on veteran. They're nothing. If you want, there's an extreme for each, but everything's on veteran. Nothing's on all-star. Nothing's on rookie. It's just on veteran. It's perfect. You're allowing everybody to either get to that level or easily obtainable. They're not making so everything is so hard to get. The progression systems in there for the cards. They're doing such a good job because I don't understand NHL. How many Gretzky's are you going to give away in this year? Like, the amount of great cards that they give away at the very end, but didn't tell me it was going to happen, and the way they're giving it away is just like they did so many programs before that were so hard to get. You had to hand in so many collectibles, and now they're like, oh, you just have to hand in 4. And I'm just like, what? I don't understand what you're doing. Nothing makes sense. What NHL has been doing, nothing.
Don't you guys have NHL stores? Sorry. For those that don't know, GWC, the big NHL tournament, the finals was held at the NHL store in New York City this year. Semifinals and finals in a store. They're playing NHL. Some guy and his kid are looking through Jamie Benn jerseys next to him.
Well,
so
no one likes to go down on Jamie Benn.
No, Jamie Benn does not go down, my friends. He stays on them skates like a true man. It's pathetic and it's embarrassing. EA should be
embarrassed. That's the tweet, Pez. What's the only jersey at the NHL store that never goes down in price?
Jamie Benn.
That never goes down. Jamie Benn.
But I felt bad because the commentators I thought were doing an excellent job, but like halfway through the sun is hitting Sleeve's face. It's like they didn't account for like the sun setting, and he's like basically just staring into the sun. It's ruining the light. Like what? Why are you guys? You got like the NHL has production crews. Like what are you doing? Like there's no foresight. Like it's really a bad look. And I feel so bad.
Easter egg hunt program card has been revealed what it is.
The what?
The Easter egg card has been revealed of what it is.
What is it? It's
John Smoltz.
Ooh.
Oh,
starting John Smoltz or closing John Smoltz?
Starting John Smoltz.
All right, let's go.
Even better.
The grind begins.
See what happens? See how exciting? I know I can get this card though. I know I can get it.
If you watch like Madden Ultimate Championships or whatever, huge production, beautiful place, NHL store, couple of streamers sitting in the sun, can't see Bupkis, Billy Bungus behind him looking at Matthew Tkachuk jerseys, right? Like it doesn't make sense because you have the ability to even rent out a small theater and do it. Like
what blows my mind is they have NHL teams that do this. The Devils just built one. The Caps, don't they have one? The Islanders have one. Not to mention you have all these third party. Oxygen Esports runs Helix, which is based in New York, New Jersey, and Foxborough. They ran the Overwatch team for Boston. They're in there with the Craft Group. These aren't just like Billy Bungus no names. Like these are big people that put investments in like Rainbow Six, Rocket League. Like they have the facility to do this, and they would likely work with you and partner with you because you can be the spot that NHL goes to every single year, and they will make sure your people have a good time, and they will treat your best players like the best. Imagine if they had the NHL draft in like I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese,
Kmart
in the state, and like like the Kmart parking lot. Like
I think
they don't do that. They don't have it in a high school.
What's the difference?
Okay, they have it in an arena. Like, why are you treating your best players like this? They work hard all year. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're just naturally good. I worked hard all year. I didn't make it. But honestly,
you don't want to make it. You don't want to make it.
When are you going to just decide that it's okay to only play NHL for a bit and then go play all these other awesome games that we get? People actually come to watch you stream, not the game you're playing.
Yeah, no, they come to root against me. They come to watch my opponents play.
I disagree with you. If you played any game, they'd still be there.
Fair enough.
But we'll see. I'm about to tune into Hatsune Miku Project Diva Future Tone and see who's a real one.
Let's go. But yeah, it's just real bad look for the NHL series, and is a really a microcosm of when you see them in 19 when they had the huge grandiose stage and all this stuff, and all of a sudden like they're gonna fly Eki from Sweden to come play at a store in the finals, right? Because they can't afford a stage.
Because I don't understand, because like I look at what MLB The Show did. They give you Rafael Palmeiro right off the bat. A huge card. And like even in the packs that you get, Waba, we get to choose between Ken Griffey, like all the pre-order stuff. The pre-order stuff for NHL is you get a Kalmakar. Like it just doesn't even make sense. Like they just offer you so much more. And any pack that's in the store can be earned through stubs from grinding. In NHL, they have here's the one you can buy with real money pack, and here's the one you can grind for that's ridiculously hard to get anyways, because we give you coins for nothing.
It's, I don't know, it's wild, and it's kind of like a summary of like how like people have felt all year, where they're like, oh, we're gonna do extra communication, we're gonna do all these things, we're gonna get feedback,
we're doing very well,
do a Discord, and then they don't, and then they say you play in a store, and it's like of course, like I'm very surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm very shocked that they went this route, and it makes it seem like they don't care.
Right.
And for the amount of money the prize pool is, I don't like I don't know. There are third-party sites like Sports Gamer that are doing bigger events than the NHL/EA sponsored one, and it's surprising. I think what Kino is doing over there is much more. And like this is why, and I was listening to Tugi's take. Shout out Tugi, he's another NHL streamer, and they were talking about this on his podcast. Like that, this is why it's like sixes will never happen. Eschel will never get a tournament because imagine you can't put if you can't run this, how are you going to run 6-on-6 in a store?
12 guys in a Kmart. I'd love to see it. Truly love to see it.
Wild.
2 guys, 1 cup.
Anyway, just wait until next week when they do the finals. We'll have another take for you then. Folks, thank you very much for joining us this week. Any final thoughts for the folks?
No. I can't wait to get drunk with you guys next year.
Oh, it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so much fun. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We will have PAX East content coming out soon once Waba sends me all the goodies. If you're interested, we talked about MLB The Show. If you're interested in what the offline modes have done, 3dadsconsole.com. I have my review of MLB The Show 24's offline modes, storylines, road to the show, and franchise. Don't play March to October. You don't need it anymore, but find out why you don't need it anymore at 3dadsconsole.com.
It's kind of sad though.
Yeah, it's dead. They killed their own mode, crushed it.
Well, no, you can still use it to get vouchers towards the.
Yeah, if you're a Diamond Dynasty guy, you can do that. But that's it. That's all I got.
And also, you can check out our store at our website. You can see it in the links tab. You can also support us there, so we can do fun things like the content you're about to see and continue to host and all that fun stuff. That's it. See you guys later. We appreciate you. Thank you for spending part of your week with us, and talk to you later.
Bye.
Miss you.